Okay, is my pause
But low.
Mm-hmm.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, some stories I wanted to share with you that are really embarrassing, but I know you guys love my embarrassing stories. Okay, so first story is the pulse check story. My roommates will know exactly what I'm talking about. Actually, my school team would too. So at the beginning of the year, there was a group within City Year that made these things called pulse checks, and they were online surveys where you just answer questions about how your year is going, what you think of the program so far, if you need any extra support in anything, and they called them pulse checks. And so they said, hey, like, don't forget to do your pulse checks, yada yada yada. Well, I didn't know what it was. I just saw the email that said take a pulse check. And for you guys that don't know, your pulse is like when you go like this and you're counting for however many seconds or minutes and counting. Well, that's what I thought they meant when they were like, do your pulse check. And because I have difficulty finding my pulse by doing this, I didn't do it. And so when the second pulse check came out, in Circle in the morning meeting with my school team, they were like, everyone don't forget your pulse check. And so I was like, guys, like, I can't check my pulse. It's really hard for me to check my pulse. I can't do this. And they all just looked at me like, uh-huh. And then it like hit everyone, and they were like, Annie, a pulse check is not calculating your pulse. Like, nobody cares what your pulse is. The pulse check is to check in with yourself and how you're doing in the program. And so everybody got a kick out of that. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. And then I guess that's a term people use, is to check in. They're like, all right, let's do a quick pulse check. Like, how is everybody? But why do they call it a pulse check? I don't really know. But that happened in class last week in one of my classes. My teacher was like, okay, let's do a quick pulse check to see how everyone's doing. And I shared that story in my class, and everyone thought it was funny. But yeah, so now you guys also know what a pulse check is. Another embarrassing story. This one is really bad. So on your email, you can either delete your email or you can archive it, which means it doesn't go into your deleted folder. It's not like permanently gone, but it's like hidden from view, so you don't have to see it in your inbox. So I didn't know it was pronounced archived or archived. God, I just said it again. So one time with my roommates, we were talking about all the emails we get from City Year, right? Because City Year sends out a lot of emails. And so I said, oh, I don't even read half my emails. I just archive them. And like, I went like this, like archive. And they were like, Annie, what does archive mean? I was like, you know, when you like kind of delete it, but put it away. And they're like, that's not the word. It's pronounced archive. Which, now thinking about it, duh. But archive, archive. Another thing I mispronounced is the app Shazam. It's like an app where you like hit the button and then it tells you like what song is playing. But I used to call it Shamaz, but it's Shazam. Another thing I mispronounced is s'mores. I can't remember when it came up. Maybe we were getting ice cream or something, and I was like, oh, I like really like the s'mores flavor or whatever. And they were like, say that again. I was like, s'mores. And they're like, you pause after the S. And when you spell s'mores, it's S''MORE. Like, do you want some more? So when I say it, I pause and make it two different like words, almost like some more. So those are some really stupid things that I've said in last year. Some more behind the scenes from City Year. So City Year, every morning we had to be at school at 7 a.m. Students didn't get to school until 7:25, 7:30. School didn't start till 7:55. So we were there really early every morning. And we started every day at 7 o'clock with a thing we called Circle. We started the day with Circle and we ended the day with Circle. It was kind of cultish. I don't know if you guys know what that word means. But it was like we stood in a literal circle. We did announcements. We did something called DRARCS, what stood for something, but it was like your high or your lows or anything you wanted to share. What else did we do? We had to do, every morning we did a uniform check to make sure we were all wearing our uniforms, just in case we couldn't see if someone wasn't wearing the uniform. So we started and we were like black shoes, black pants, black belt, City Year shirt, name tag, high, tight, and to the right. Positive can do attitude, no, Yeah, positive can-do attitude, heart pumping full of grace, positive can-do attitude, and a soul generated by love. We said that every morning, the entire year.
Today I will show respect, make good decisions, and solve problems.
That was one of my least favorite stupid things that we had to do with City Year. So, and then at the end of the day, we did that. We didn't have to do the uniform check, but we had to do the rest of it. It's ridiculous. So then after Circle, we usually went back to our little City Year office in your school. And I think that time was supposed to be for planning, but we all kind of just sat on our phones. I ate breakfast. So, fun story. So, Christina and I drove every day and all ate bite. And me and Christina really was an on-time person at the beginning of the year, and she like cared about being on time. And by the end of the year, we were late every single day. I don't know if it was me rubbing off on her or just the fact that like she realized we really don't have to be there on time. And our program manager even changed the times that Circle started at 7:05 so that we wouldn't miss announcements. And we were still late by the end of it. So that's how serious we took City Year.
I'm going to show you a few things. I'm going to show you how sleight of hand works when I do it, but then I'm going to let you do some sleight of hand, and then I'm going to eliminate all.
Last year I didn't have a boyfriend, and I still currently do not have a boyfriend. I'm sure you guys care and want to know. I don't have a boyfriend. I have gone on a few dates here in St. Louis, and in Seattle I went on a few dates, but obviously nothing lasted. My favorite parts of the day were I love playing basketball with you guys. I love when you guys sat at my back table, and I like lunchtime when you guys told me gossip. And I really appreciate when you guys would ask me for advice or suggestions or brought in things from home that you had questions about. My whole goal in life is to be a therapist or work in counseling specifically with students. For the win. For the W.
Oh!
Okay, wait, do I go like this? I hope you're all doing well. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, or whatever they say. But yeah, thanks for watching. I know it's a long one. Bye, friends.
Look at, just real quick. Wait, it's gonna get on the sombrero.